Okay, so in this video, we're going to be reviewing issue 167 of the Walking Dead comic, titled A Certain Doom, and I knew this was coming a while ago. We all knew this was coming a while ago, but it's one of those things you're not going to believe until you actually read it. Until you actually see it on the page, you won't believe it. Rest in peace, Andrea, after all this time. She's been in the comic since 2004, for fuck's sake. That's so long. That is so long. If you think about what age you were in 2004, like, that just puts it into perspective. She's been a character in the comics for that long, and even Robert Kirkman at the end put a note about how he felt about how he was on a plane writing how he come together with it, and he was actually crying on the plane whilst writing it because it like affected him that much. He didn't want to do it, but he felt like it needed to be done, and that's how all of us feel. Like, even I wanted to tear up while reading it. Like, I've never felt that of a comic before. If I have, it's been very rare. It's been like once or twice, but holy shit, what an issue.
That is just... I didn't think the comic would ever get to me like that, but holy crap. That was so perfectly done. Like, it was so perfectly done. There's nothing to really review, apart from just the whole fact that it's about Rick and Andrea. It was her goodbye issue. We knew that from A Certain Doom, from the cover of the issue. We knew darkness was coming over the door. There's only one way out for Rick. Like, there's no symbolism in that, but we knew what was coming, and it just sucks so bad. Like, it's a comic. It's just a comic. People will say it's just a comic, but it's so strange. Like, you read it and it just gets
not to mention, which is a whole other topic, when that happens in the TV series, holy shit, people are gonna go crazy. Yeah,
they will. Whenever I read the comic, I think of the TV show, who that's gonna be. We know that's gonna be Sammy Michonne. But
there's another thing which we'll probably do a side topic on, and it's around Dwight. Now, Dwight, at a minute, I'm getting those dickhead vibes back from when he first ever come into it. He's looking at Rick like he dislikes him, and it's making me think, why do you even care? Like, she was an absolute bitch. Why do you even care that she's dead, regardless of her being your wife or whatever? What she did, like, she betrayed you a while ago. Like, why do you even care? And there's something I'm gonna go into, a theory I've actually thought of that could possibly be very shocking, but very cool at the same time, which we'll go into, I think, in a separate video.
The thing is, the thing that about this issue is, the part that got me the most is that, like, during the end, where, like, Rick had gone outside, and it was through a comic. Do you know how hard it is to show the emotion of that? Like, yeah. It was just Rick looking at all these survivors, his son, looking at all these survivors, Maggie, Carl, like, everyone was there, and, like, through his head was going Andrea's words.
Andrea's last words to him,
and that was amazing. I also loved how they had everyone come in the room and say goodbye to Maggie. And obviously Negan wasn't serious at all. Yeah,
he's like, you're hot as fuck.
Yeah, you're hot as fuck. It would have been an honour if you would have killed me, he says. I just love this issue. It's one of those issues that I want to go back and read, but I don't think no issue, apart from issue 100, has got me like that, to the point where it's emotion. Like, oh my god. That is issue 100, and now this, issue 167 is. I don't think another issue is going to get me like this, really, because, like, even Rick's emotion, like, the way Charlie Abdul did the art and stuff, I think this is a perfect issue, in my opinion.
Perfect send-off.
I know other issues I say are good and stuff, and they're great, but this was a perfect issue. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. I think it was emotional. Just I don't think a comic could get me like that, but it did.
It was a bit out of the blue, I must admit. Like, the way Andrew got bit to begin with, it was a bit out of the blue. This whole situation happened a bit out of the blue, but that's the thing.
That goes into her death, because she says about how they're only human. Yeah, they're only human. Like, people have always died. Yeah, and it kind of makes me wonder. Like, makes me realise that she didn't have to go out in a badass way. Like, she went out in a way where it was realistic. Like, she just wanted another person.
She's a badass in the group. She's one of the most badass people in the comic, but she's human. She just died in just a normal way, a regular way, as if any other survivor would. So I do love that, and I do think they're going to do that in a TV series eventually down the line. But they'll spice it up a bit more. They will add something more shocking to it.
We have the stuff with Eugene blaming himself. Yeah. I'm not sure anyone knows about the radio yet. I mentioned that in every comic video, but I'm excited for it because I don't know what it means. I've still got betas out there with the Whisperers. I don't think that's over. I don't. They wouldn't just leave beta to just go away. No. I think when Rick says we've got stuff to do, I think he's going to sort out stuff with the Saviours, then go after the real problem, like the cause of Andrew's death, which was the Whisperers, wasn't it? Bringing all them walkers to Alexandria, taking down the hilltop. There's a lot to come. But Rick, if anything, I thought it was going to be broken after this episode.
That's what I thought.
If anything, he's stronger. He's got that old look back, if I'm honest, like back when All Out War, when he had a mission to take down Negan. It's
either him he's either gonna carry on and just like power through it, or he's not gonna be able to do it and he's just gonna break down.
No, he isn't. He's gonna power through it.
Yeah, I think he'll power through it, which means that we're going to have to think about what the cover for the next issue may be, where Negan's standing around and his saviour's kneeling before him.
That kind of goes to your theory, what you told me, actually. It kind of does.
Yeah, which will, like I said, not going to go into that theory here, but it involves Dwight, Negan and Rick. And we'll go into it in a separate one, because I think it would be kind of shocking, and with the way Dwight's looking at Rick, it's like, he's just, I have a feeling he's going to be a dickhead in some way, because remember, that was his wife, but...
So, no more Andrea in the Walking Dead comic. I don't know.
We barely have the originals now.
See, Rick, I think Rick was always with Andrea, like, in the new beginning. Like, whenever Rick was in the scene, it was kind of him and Andrea. Or he was at least referencing Andrea, talking about her, something like that. Now you're going to have to go through the comic without seeing that. It's a game changer. The comic's going to change for good now.
It is, because now Rick has no one to go to. Whenever Rick wanted a decision, whenever Rick wasn't sure about something, he went to Andrea.
That they talked about.
Yeah, the pep talks that they spoke about. He's got no one to go to anymore. Like,
well, he's got Andrea. I think he's got Michonne. Michonne's
but it's not the same.
But yeah, it's not the same. I mean, it's not like Rick he's going to fall in love with Michonne now or anything like that. I don't think Rick's going to be in a relationship ever again in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The next thing for Rick will be his death, like the next emotional thing for him. I think the only thing that'll make Rick want to probably give up is Carl dying.
Carl dying, yeah. If Carl died, he would probably just lose all hope. But I don't see that happening. That's not going to happen.
But Andrea's death left behind something that made the old Rick come back, I think. Now, the Rick is back to his good self. The Rick that was just ruthless. And now he's actually going to do something. He's going to plan, probably take down the Whisperers, sort the Saviours out, because there's a whole shit load of stuff going on there. And then you've got Dwight, who's probably plotting something stupid now because of what happened. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that you can think of. Then you've got the radio and Eugene. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can easily forget, and it can go into future stories. But I think the main thing that Andrea's death left behind was it kind of changed everyone in a way. Like, it's gonna affect everyone, even if it's in a small way, and she didn't really know them.
And that's what we saw. That's what we saw when they were all saying goodbye.
Exactly.
Because she was like the queen of Alexandria.
Yeah.
The queen of like this whole big community. So she's obviously gonna have an effect on everyone, and she's played a big part, like being the sharpshooter and everything.
It's so weird that this is like the last time we had a big main character death was Glenn, wasn't it? I mean,
it was Glenn, yeah.
I don't think I would count Father Gabriel and stuff in the comic.
They're not big deaths now.
They're not big deaths. When he died, I was like, but you didn't really see him in the comic. I mean, in the show, it'd be a different story because he's much better in the show, and I absolutely love him in the show. But in the comic, since Glenn, there's not been no deaths really, and then now you've got this, and it's just like, damn, Andrea, like she was in Atlanta. She's been there since Tony Moore was doing the artwork. You know, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm going to miss that woman.
But that's about it for this video. Not really much to go over in this comic because it was just a tribute to Andrea. Basically, it was her comic. It was her
artwork was amazing. The writing was amazing. Just everything. The cover was amazing. It's just not going to be the same.
It was super emotional. The comic was all about Andrea with a hint of Dwight being a dickhead. But that's about it, really. Tell us what you thought of it down below. If you would have made her go out in a different way. I know many people wouldn't have made her go out at all. But
did it affect you bad?
Yeah.
I read it and I was like, oh,
definitely affected me. She's been in it for so long. But tell us what you think down below. Hope you enjoyed. Leave it a like, share it around, and as always, cheers for watching.